Hello, and welcome to Verbling. Hi there, I'm teacher Oakley. For the next hour here on Verbling, we are going to be reading an article. This article has to do with eating insects, saving money, high nutritious value. Well, we will definitely, most likely, be discussing the idea of eating insects. But our main focus of the class is actually to look at the writing itself, because I have removed all punctuation from the writing. So not only will you be practicing reading, taking turns, the students will take turns reading until where you think a period belongs, but also commas are removed, hyphens to show hyphenated words have been removed. Well, everything, all the punctuation. So as we look at the article and read about eating insects, we are going to be inserting the punctuation and discussing how that works with the punctuation, when or why we should be or should not be punctuating the sentences in the article. Okay, so before we get started, let me welcome students to the class, do a little microphone check, and then we'll get going. So hello, Wilson. How are you?
Hello, I'm fine, and you? Good morning.
Morning. Evening, whatever. Okay. All right.
Okay.
Welcome to the class. And hello, Anna. Hi,
Hello,
Anna.
Clay. Good morning to you, right?
Evening. It's actually 7 p.m.
Evening.
Yeah, where I am.
Where are you?
I'm in the Philippines, actually. I'm an American, but I live in the Philippines. So
Okay.
here, it's 7 o'clock Monday night.
It's 8 o'clock in the morning here.
Yeah, we're 12 hours. Yeah, right. Okay, Ken has joined us. Hello, Ken. Welcome
Yes,
to the class.
hello.
Hello. Hello. Okay, I am now going to do a screen share, and I'm going to kind of show you what we're doing here. Okay, I have here an article which is about eating insects. Okay, you want to eat more insects, good for you, good for world. Okay, now, titles are a little bit of an exception in English, because titles will frequently not, usually they're not entire sentences. For example, normally it's very normal to drop the subject. So there is actually, usually there's really not punctuation in a title. However, this particular title does have punctuation. I'm just going to show you this first one and talk about it a little bit, and then I'll have you guys read the article and insert the punctuation. Okay, the first punctuation needed is a colon. This is a colon, the two dots, one on top of each other. This is used to express, in this case, that the UN is trying to communicate this information. They're saying this information. Okay. You don't normally see this in the body of writing, but in a title, yeah, usually we would see a colon being used for, in the body of a writing, a colon is used to give examples of something, or possibly the same reason we're using it here, to express this information is coming from a certain place. Okay, the next thing here, eat more insects, good for you, good for, okay, this is obviously not working without any punctuation. The next thing we need is a semicolon. And the reason we need a semicolon here, semicolon all right, is used to make a compound sentence. So in a normal sentence, we would separate. A compound sentence is made up of two independent clauses, two sentences joined together, usually with a connecting conjunction like and, but, so, for, yet. Okay. And normally when we do that, we have a comma and then and, or but, or yet, or so. And then the second sentence. And the second way that we can create a compound sentence is to join two clauses, independent clauses, complete sentences, by using a semicolon. Now, again, this is a title, so this is really a really special case, but if you join two sentences together that have something, they both are related, they have something to do with each other, this is how to do it.
One question, don't you need a
Sure.
capital letter for good because of the semicolon? No?
No, because it's in the middle of a sentence. Let me sort of demonstrate what I mean. Okay, so whoops, hang on. So the same reason that you wouldn't have one in a regular sentence. This title is a sentence, but it's a title, so it has no subject nouns. Definitely an exception. Look, I like, whoops, I like ice cream. Now, I could do it this way, and my wife likes ice cream. Okay, but I don't have to do it. The same reason that and is not capitalized. If the other way to connect these two simple sentences, you know, I, subject, like, verb, ice cream, object. My wife, subject, likes, verb, ice cream, subject. Okay, these are two independent clauses. The other way to do it is just put a semicolon. I can do this as well. We normally use semicolons when we have really great big long sentences with very long clauses. It helps to break up the sentence, or possibly when we have, you can join 3, 4, 5 different clauses together. Possibly if we have 3 independent clauses to help break it up, we might do this as well. Or in a situation where one of the normal connective conjunctions, but, and, or, yet, so, for, and nor, when none of those actually really works in our sentence, then we can do this. We use the semicolon. So for the same reason that we're not going to capitalize my in my wife here, in this sentence we're not going to capitalize good. This is a weird title, I grant you that. Usually with a title, of course, we would capitalize eat, more, insects. We capitalize every word, with the exception of articles or prepositions. The other problem with this title, good for you, it has a list. Good for you, good for the world. These are two phrases listed. When we list phrases, it doesn't matter what we list. Okay, we list adjectives, we list nouns, verbs, prepositional phrases, whatever. We need to separate them with a comma. So there you go. Here's the article. Eat more insects, good for you, good for the world. Good for world. Notice also titles frequently, this is a newspaper article. Newspaper article titles frequently drop articles, like, you know, a and the articles, I mean, the words articles. Okay, so now I'm going to turn the ball over to you guys and let you try to figure out where to put commas and periods and so forth. Notice the other weird thing, even though this is set up like a sentence, it's a title, it doesn't have a period. Titles are weird. You're a lot better off if you are writing just making your title one simple phrase and use capital letters for the main words. You can drop articles. You don't need, if you use articles in a title, you don't need to capitalize them, and you don't need to capitalize prepositions. Okay. Here we go. Okay. Wilson, Rome AP. All right.
Okay. Need to do the punctuation, is that? Yes?
Yeah, go ahead and read it first so we all get an idea of what it's saying, and then let's talk punctuation.
Okay. Rome Association Press, I think, see? The latest weapon in the United Nations fight against hunger, global warming, and pollution might be flying by you right now.
Okay, let's talk punctuation here.
Hmm.
Okay, so what do you think?
I think after the parentheses, maybe a colon.
After the parentheses?
Yes.
Okay, you're right, but whoops, not an underscore. Sorry. Okay. Normally we have a dash or even a longer dash. Yes, that's true. Okay. If now you don't have to worry about this unless you're a reporter. All right. But a dash would be needed here. Yeah. Okay. And then next what?
Global hunger global. After global, I think there is a comma.
After global?
Yes.
Well, okay.
No, I think after hunger.
Yeah, there
sorry.
you go. Global warming is like
Yes.
a set phrase.
Yes,
Right?
yes.
So the words go together, the adjective and the noun. So
Yeah.
okay, after hunger. Yeah.
What is hunger, by the way?
What is hunger?
Yes.
Really? Hunger is hunger is not having enough food to eat.
Okay. Yes, I thought it was that, but because
Okay.
it's a title of United Nations. Okay, global warming and pollution, comma, might. Okay. After pollution, I think there is a comma.
After pollution?
Yes, I think
Okay, you do not actually need a comma here.
no.
No. Um, okay. All right. Breaking the sentence apart. Okay, the latest weapon. That is your. What is the latest weapon? I mean, in reference to grammatical sentence construction, not not in relation to the meaning.
Okay, the latest weapon, I think it's the subject of the
Indeed,
sentence.
it is. You're exactly correct. In the UN's fight is a prepositional phrase. So when you're analyzing a sentence, you can basically, except for prepositional phrases, when you put them in the very beginning of the sentence before the subject, then they need to have a comma. But in the middle, you can pretty much just ignore them. In regards to punctuation.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. And then this next part, against blah 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 blah. This is again another phrase. Okay. Yeah, another phrase. Now we finally get to the verb here.
Verb, yes,
Might
yes.
be flying.
I understood. You can't separate subject and verb, so there is no.
Exactly.
Yes, okay.
Exactly. That's exactly my point. Okay.
Okay, I got the point. Might be flying by you right now, and then a final period. Okay.
Period, of course. Yes. Okay. Great job with the dash. Okay, the comma's in the right place. I want to point out when we list things, if you want to put a comma here before and, it's actually not incorrect. It is not incorrect.
Hmm.
Do it or don't do it. More and more nowadays, people don't do it. People used to do it like every time, but now it's more or less evolved into a rule. You don't need a comma here. There's something else missing here.
Hmm.
Any idea, Wilson, or?
Something missing.
Yeah, so more punctuation missing. And it has to do with the UNs. We need some punctuation here.
The latest weapon in the UN's fight against. I don't know. I think that.
Okay. Anybody else? And by the way, hello, Pavel. How are you?
Hello, I'm fine, thank you.
Great. Okay, we can do this. We'll take turns doing the reading and giving it the first shot, but we can clean it up collectively. Anybody else have any idea what maybe I should do to UNs here?
Apostrophe.
Go ahead, Ken.
Apostrophe because it's possession. UN's fight.
Apostrophe. Yes. UN owns the fight, so to speak. That's absolutely correct. Anything else, Anna or Pavel?
I think quotation marks, maybe.
No, nobody's speaking. Nobody said this. We don't need quotation marks, unless you mean you're quoting quotation marks fight because it's not really a fight because you're using the word in a special way.
No, I meant in general, but
Oh, okay.
thanks.
Sometimes we use quotation marks to show that we're using a word in a unique way, or even maybe we're using the word in a sarcastic way. We don't really mean it. Okay, but this is pretty direct. The other thing that's missing here is UNs. It actually is an abbreviation, so I really should have periods to show that it's an abbreviation. And that's it. Okay, the rest, Wilson had it all correct.
For the association press, I need a period too, okay? Because it's, oh no.
No, good question though. Because it's in these parentheses to show source, no, it's totally not necessary. Actually, I shouldn't have even used the parentheses, see if you could figure that out. But anyway, no, you will always see it like this, whatever. AFP, AP, Reuters, whatever. CNN, whoever. Okay.
Okay.
Let's continue with Anna. Continue reading, and now you've got a whole paragraph, so continue reading until you feel like you've reached the end of the sentence.
Edible insects are being promoted as a low-fat, high-protein food for people, pets, and livestock. This is the end of the sentence.
Period.
Right?
Yeah. Yes. Oops, I should have changed the capitals to lowercase letters. Oh well, that's okay. Okay, and what punctuation do we need within the sentence?
Commas after people and pets, or we don't need after pets.
Yeah, like I said before. Yeah.
Right.
Don't really need it. Okay. And there's one other thing. There's a reason that Microsoft Word here is underlining these words in red. It's because there's punctuation missing. Yeah. Where's the hyphen go?
Between low fat.
Huh?
Between low and fat.
Oh, there you go. Between low and fat.
And
yep.
Between high and protein.
Yes, indeed. Okay. Absolutely. Okay. Very good. Yeah, great. And I think that is all that's required here. Good job. One note about notice that the hyphenated word just happens to be, because of letter count or size of my document or whatever. The second half of the hyphenated part is in the next row. Now, if it comes down to it, you can also do this between at the end of the sentence, because of the way now we all have different software, Microsoft Office, whatever, to help us space words. This doesn't really happen anymore, but if you're just writing, or depending on your software, it is possible to do things like, okay, down here, like looking at the word creating, it is possible to separate it like this. Okay, creating. It's basically you're separating it because you've run out of room in your row, and you're trying to separate it based on syllables. But of course, syllables actually fluctuate. TING is a syllable, or ING. Usually you do it along the syllables as they relate to the base word. So ING is very clearly a common ending. So that's where I would put that hyphen, if I needed to do that. Again, with modern software, you don't really have to worry about that anymore. It's kind of a forgotten thing. Okay. Ken, can you continue from according?
According to the UN period. Oh, I lost the text.
Whoops, sorry. Okay.
According to the UN, they come with appetizing side benefits. According to the UN, comma, maybe.
Yes.
They come with appetizing side benefits, reducing greenhouse gas emission, livestock pollution, creating jobs in developing countries. Maybe benefit after the benefits, comma, not comma, period.
Yes. Okay.
Reducing greenhouse gas emissions and livestock pollution, creating jobs in the developing countries, and feeding the millions of hungry people in the world, period.
Well, okay, yes, period. All right, let's go back to according. According to the UN. Okay, anything else? Why did you put a comma here?
I usually do this if I write English sentence.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, you're absolutely correct. Yeah. Okay. Okay. According to the UN. All right. When we've got a phrase or a clause, phrase or a clause in the beginning.
Main clause and sub clause. That thing. That sort of thing.
Any phrase or clause that's not a complete sentence at the beginning of the sentence, you're gonna put a comma. So our actual subject and real sentence here is independent clause is here. So yes. So either way, reverse engineering, the same thing. If you have a dependent clause first, you need a comma. What if I put this clause according to the UN behind benefits?
You don't need to write comma.
Yeah. Precisely. So if you have if you have an independent clause first, it's not necessary to have a comma. Right. So you got it. Again, to be officially official, we should have the periods here.
Well, I checked that in the dictionary. There's no full period.
Yeah. Okay. Right. Okay. And you could definitely get away with it. Again, I do have to point out, punctuation is an area. Well, all of English is an area. English changes over time and it evolves. Okay, just like the comma before the last and whatever on a list, it's done less and less. I think for some reason humans get lazier and lazier the more technologically advanced we get. Anyway, that, 100 years ago, totally not allowed. Now it's okay. This thing with the UN, technically speaking, you need to have it. Is it omitted? Frequently, yes. It is omitted. In the original article, in the original newspaper, in the original article, it did in fact have the periods. I agree with you. I have seen other articles, obviously referencing the UN, where it did not use these periods. So you have a point, but just okay. All right, but then you boldly, Ken, took another sentence here. Okay, well, actually, all right, it's the end of the paragraph, so that's okay. It's obviously a sentence. Let me hand this one off to Pavel. Pavel? All right, it's obviously the end of the sentence because it's the end of the paragraph, so that's not exactly
Okay.
Okay, what else? Is there anything else? Punctuation.
We need to put comma after pollution, livestock pollution, or semicolon, or semicolon, comma or semicolon.
We can't do a semicolon because the semicolon, if you recall, in my little stupid example here, the semicolon is when we have another subject noun. So we're going to have another independent, complete independent clause. And, well, okay. Well, okay. I guess creating, we're using a gerund, right?
Okay.
But we don't have a, okay.
Creating jobs in developing countries, comma, and feeding the millions of hungry people in the world.
Okay, now here we're, okay, notice you have chosen to put a comma before the and. Okay, you know what? Because you have such long phrases, I would also do the same thing just to help it be less confusing, really. Whoops. What happened here? What did I do? Okay. I would probably do the same thing. Again, it is actually optional whether you want to do that or not. There's a little problem here, though, and it has to do with what I was saying earlier. There's something very wrong with this. As a unit, we don't really have complete sentences here. We have these, because these are gerunds: reducing, creating, and feeding. There's a little problem here. We just have a list of things, but we don't actually have any independent clauses. And the problem has to do with back up here.
There is the verb.
Okay, remember when okay, we need a punctuation here. You remember, earlier in the class I mentioned, when I was showing you the title, I was mentioning when you want to give examples of something, you use a certain punctuation. So here was the independent clause. We need a punctuation between benefits and reducing. Do you remember, Pavel? What we need?
Semicolon, no.
Yes. You got it.
Column. The column. We need to put the column.
Colon. Like that. Yes, exactly. Just how easy, how earlier, yeah, okay. As I mentioned, we use it to list to precede a list of examples. Okay, So there we go. Now it makes sense. And okay. And again, this last comma is optional. I like it when I have long phrases. I much prefer to use the comma. I think it breaks it up. Okay. All right. Moving on. Wilson.
Okay. Some edible insect information in bite-sized form. Okay.
Okay.
Some edible insect information in. Okay, it's wrong. Something's wrong there. Maybe a hyphen. Okay, bite.
Yep.
Knife size
Right.
form and period at the end.
Okay. But where's the verb? How can we use a period? There, in order to be an independent clause or a working sentence, I have to have a subject, noun, and a verb, and it has to be a complete idea.
Okay. Some edible insect information in bite-sized form. I think the continuation of the text, he's going to explain something about this sentence. Is that?
Mm-hmm.
So I think we should have a colon. We should have a colon then.
Yes,
yeah?
colon.
Colon.
Exactly.
Okay.
That's it. You got it correctly. And you know what he's also going to do? He's going to give me headings. So who eats and packed with protein and fiber and which to choose. He's going to give me a list of headings. So yeah, that's exactly right.
Okay.
By the way, quite obviously, the headings are written in uppercase letters. You don't have to do that. You could also make them bold. You could make them a larger font if you're, obviously typing. If you're writing with a pencil or something, then you would, most likely you would do this. Okay. Moving on, Anna. Next. Well, I don't know. Do the whole thing probably.
2 billion people do, largely in Asia, Africa, and Latin America. The Rome-based UN Food and Agriculture Organization said Monday as it issued a report exploring edible insect potential. So the first part should have quotation marks, right?
Because you saw said.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. I knew that you would do that, or whoever was looking at this would think that. Not necessarily so. We can also use reported speech without using quotes. It can be just a summary of the idea of what they said. It doesn't have to be exactly what they said. In particular, when the speaker here is the UN Food and Agricultural Organization, so we don't even know who said it. So it's a group. It's not a person. So you can't really quote a group. You can only quote a person. So have we? Okay, Robert Mondavi of the UN Food and Agriculture Organization. Then I would say, yeah, go ahead. You probably want quotes. But since we're just quoting an organization, it is not necessary to have quotes. We can do reported speech without quotes. So he told me he would come to the party. Okay. Now I can't use quotes because I'm using back shift and I'm making it more past tense. So he didn't say I would come to the party. That doesn't make sense. He certainly would say he would come to the party. Okay, he said he would come to the party. That's not exactly what he said, and if it's going to be in quotes, it has to be exactly what the person said, word for word. So when we report speech and we do backshift, you see, we can't use quotes because it's against the rules to quote anything that wasn't actually word for word. Exactly. All right, so no, we don't need quotes. Anna?
Yeah,
All right.
but we need something.
Oh, we need a lot of somethings.
Yeah. Well, a a comma after do,
Excellent.
right?
It's hard to see that one. Good job. 2 billion.
Is after is, and before and, but like you said,
Yeah.
um,
Normally in like short lists, you don't do it. Okay. But like I said, in a longer, much longer phrasal list, I would do it.
and then we need something after America, but I'm not sure. Well, probably a
Mhm.
comma and a dash, or just a dash.
I think just a comma.
Oh, just a comma.
Here's your clue. If you can separate out information, whether that's a relative clause, prepositional phrase, or this is an adverb clause, actually, largely. If you can extract it and it makes perfect sense, 2 billion people do the Rome-based UN Food and Agriculture. Okay, that makes perfect sense. So that's great. That means I'm on the right track, and that means I need to separate out that phrase or whatever, that construction that can be entirely removed, and I definitely need to bracket it on either side. I need a comma. So it's definitely going to be correct. If you can read it without the the part that's surrounded by commas and it makes perfect sense, then you know you've punctuated it correctly, is what I'm saying. Okay, so that's it. So far, so good. Anna, what else?
Well, I'm really confused about said Monday. It's so strange. Said on Monday, or
Okay.
it isn't strange.
Uh, yeah, okay. Well, we don't need to always it would be correct either way, to tell you the truth. If it's not really important that it was Monday, okay. He told me Tuesday he would come to the party. All right. I don't have to say he told me on Tuesday he would come to the party. It's not necessary. All right.
Well, okay. Well, I'm thinking probably a comma after Monday.
Comma after Monday. Okay. Not sure if it's actually necessary. Hang on a second. Hang on. I don't think it's necessary because you're starting with as here, right? You're starting with as. This is functioning. This is a subordinator, subordinating conjunction. You're introducing a subordinate clause or a dependent clause. When the dependent clause goes second, when it goes after even if there's other clauses involved, if it goes after the independent clause, then you don't need a comma. So we're good with that. We don't need any more commas. It's fine.
Okay, then it's just period after, yeah, and UN. Oh,
Yep.
hyphen.
Hyphen.
Before
Okay. You
and
and Rome based hyphen. Yeah.
hyphen.
There we go. That's perfect. Okay. Who eats insects now? 2 billion people eat insects now. Anna, do you eat insects?
Never.
Are you one of the
And
2 billion?
and we don't need a question mark after, well,
Who eats
in the
insects now?
previous. Yeah, we don't need it.
Yeah. Okay, that's a very good question. Yes, we do, actually. You're right. I missed that. Good job. Yes, we do. Even though it's a heading, if it's a question, yeah, even if it's a title, if it's a heading, yes, you do need a question mark. Good call. I just spaced that out. Good one.
Thanks.
Okay. All right. Moving on, Ken.
Okay. Some insects may already be in your food, and this is no fly in my soup joke. Period.
Okay.
Demand for natural food coloring as opposed to artificial dyes is increasing. The agency apostrophe s these experts say, maybe quotation mark, a red coloring produced from the cochineal
I don't know.
cochineal
Okay.
after that. I don't see it after that.
Yeah, it's a different.
Okay. A scaled insect often exported from Peru already put the hue in a trendy Italian aperitif and an internationally popular brand of strawberry yogurt. Period.
Okay.
Many pharmaceutical companies also use coloring from insects in their pills. Period.
Okay. All right. Let's back up here. All right. Some insects may already be in your food, and this is no fly in my soup joke. Okay. Notice this hyphenated. Just trust me on this one. There's a few fly in your soup jokes. It's a classic. Okay. Demand for natural food coloring. Okay. We got to do something with this sentence here.
Yeah, so quotation mark.
No.
No, demand for natural food coloring. Demand for natural food coloring as opposed to.
Okay.
Maybe comma. Natural food coloring, comma, as opposed to artificial dyes.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Now you're talking. Okay. Comma.
And after dyes should be comma.
Okay. There we go. So demand is a subject noun, then prepositional phrase. This whole thing. Demand is increasing the agency's experts say. Okay. All right. Right. So again,
period, maybe
we get rid of this whole thing. Is increasing the agency's experts say. Now period?
Well, I thought it is a kind of quotation mark after a red color, blah, blah, blah.
Well, okay, so that would mean, okay, I understand what you're saying. All right. It may be, it could be possible. So, in other words, okay, if the agency's experts say belongs to the sentence in front, then we just put a period.
Okay.
Boom, we're done. If the period actually belonged after is increasing, and in T, the agency experts say, again, I don't think we're looking for quotes here because we don't know exactly who's speaking. Who are the agency's experts? So that probably doesn't make sense that we're going to going to quote somebody. The only time we can quote somebody word for word with quotation marks, of course, the classic reporter, spokesman for the Ministry of Defense who did not want to be identified because he had no permission to speak on the matter. So they make it very obvious that it is a real person with a real name, but they can't give his name to protect their sources. I mean, newspapers, they do this constantly, all the time. Literally every article you read has quotation marks from somebody who they don't actually name. But you can do that. But anyway, in this case, since I don't really have a real person, I would definitely say that this phrase belongs with the previous sentence. All right, a red coloring produced from the cochineal. I don't know. Okay. Anything else here in this next sentence?
Red coloring produced from the cochineal, a scale insect often exported from Peru. Maybe comma again?
Where? Yes.
From the red coloring produced from the colonial comma,
Yes.
and a scale insect often exported from Peru, comma.
Okay, so once again, we're seeing the same thing. A red coloring produced from the cochineal already puts the hue in a tragedy. Okay, if we remove the descriptive phrase in the middle, it still makes perfect sense. Okay, and also notice, okay, this whole thing is really the noun. I mean the subject noun. The whole thing is already puts the verb. Notice how we're breaking it up. We're giving extra information and breaking up the subject and the verb like that. Okay. And I think that's it. Many pharmaceutical companies also use colorings from insects in their pills. Great. Okay, so Ken, how do you feel about that? Are you happy that you're probably already eating insects and you don't know it?
Actually, nowadays modern way of eating insect is maybe company processed the insect, so we don't know what it is actually, like dying or some some type of one company tie up with Microsoft, and they did opened a kind of not Euclina. Euclina became a healthy food here. They produced that, or
Euclina, what's that?
it's a kind of half insect, half how can I say plant type, very primitive creature. It is very nutritious, so it was used as a healthy food, or some like it's a green flavor something.
Packed with protein, full of fiber. Great. Okay, Pavel. Here we go. Packed with protein, full of fiber. Okay. Let's tackle this next. Might as well go for the whole thing here. Let's give it a try.
Scientists who have studied the nutritional value of edible insects, have found that red ants, small grasshoppers, grasshoppers, and some water beetles. No. I made a mistake. Beetles peck Graham or on Semicolons. Oh, very difficult word. It's
Yeah, because they're
enough protein to rank with lean ground beef while having less fat per gram. Hyphen gram per ham.
yeah, gram hyphen per gram.
Per,
Right.
per gram. Whoa.
Yeah, gram per gram. There you go. It's supposed to be like this. This is a fairly common enough. Ounce per ounce, pound per pound.
Ounce per ounce.
Like that.
Okay. It's measure of weight.
Yeah.
Weight.
Right. So what they're doing is they're saying 1 gram of insects compared with or per 1 gram of lean ground beef. So that's what they're saying here. Oh, okay.
Pound per pound, gram per gram. Okay.
Like
Enough protein to rank with lean ground beef.
Okay.
Point on at the end of sentence.
Yeah. Okay. A period, you mean?
Yes.
Not a point, but a period.
Period.
Okay. Actually, that's it. There's one other thing. There should be some of this information actually should be in parentheses. Do you know where parentheses should go here, Pavel? Any idea?
Small ground hoppers and some later beetlets. After beetlets, maybe.
Oh, you're close. We pack here is a verb. By the way, the word is beetles.
Beetles.
Yeah.
Beetles.
Yeah. Pack. Okay. And here you go. Gram per gram or ounce per ounce. You see why? Because we pack enough protein. Okay. Pack and enough go together. All right. So this extra measurement thingy, we're going to put parentheses there. Okay. All right, Pavel, how do you feel about, you feel good about eating insects? Are you for it?
Oh, no, I have never eaten insects, maybe.
I read some stupid thing. I don't know if it's true or not or what, but I remember reading something like, I forgot what it was exactly, but like a normal human being eats an average of 7 spiders per year. Has anybody heard that before? No?
Spider? No. Oh, no.
No?
No.
Okay. I don't
You
know.
mean unintentionally?
Obviously unintentionally, because your average human isn't going to intentionally eat a spider. So obviously unintentionally, yes. If you know some of the packing the laws in the United States, one of the more advanced countries when it comes to food safety, really, how many rat hairs per gram or how many insect parts per ounce in things like peanut butter or breakfast cereal or what have you, it's kind of disgusting. And you realize that, yeah, that's probably true. You probably do eat 7 spiders a year.
Well, it's better than human parts, you know.
Well, yes, absolutely. But anyway, okay. Those are accidentally, obviously, not intentionally added to peanut butter or what have you. But, yeah. Okay, anyway, Wilson.
Okay. Board with bran as a source of fiber in your diet. Edible insects can oblige obliged, and they also contain useful minerals such as iron, magnesium, phosphorus. Okay. Uh,
Oh,
okay.
okay.
After diet, I think there is a comma.
Comma
Boiled,
or something else?
boiled with bread as a source of a fiber in your diet. Well,
Well,
well.
well. What is that? Okay. Board with bran as a source of fiber in your diet? Edible insects can oblige. Okay, listen to the way I read it.
I think it's a question mark then. Okay.
Ah, yes. That's
Yeah.
right. This is a rhetorical question. Okay, right.
Boiled.
And they're posing it as a really as a command sentence question. There's no subject noun. The subject noun is assumed to be you. So there you go. Okay. All
Edible
right.
insects can oblige. Also contain. I think maybe there is a comma after oblige.
Excellent. Very good.
Yeah.
Yes, you are right because we have a new subject noun here
Yeah.
following
Yeah.
our connecting, coordinating, whatever conjunction. Very good.
Yeah. And after such as, I think a comma, iron comma, magnesium comma, phosphorus comma, selenium,
Yeah, lots of
a comma, yes, phosphorus,
lots lots of minerals here. Yeah. Okay.
selenium, maybe you can have a comma if you want,
Yeah.
after selenium,
Yeah. Exactly.
selenium.
Can or not. I think you said a comma after such as, but there would be no comma after such as.
No,
No.
such,
Nope. Here, no. You don't need a comma here.
mm.
Just such as. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
a period at the end, is that?
And a period at the end.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, just so you know, just imagining. Okay, just so I can show you, I'm changing the text a little. If you ever have this etc. thing
Mm.
uh, to end a list of things, um, this is how you do it. You do absolutely need to have a comma to separate the little etc.
Mm.
Uh,
Okay.
okay, here I've used etc. abbreviation, so I have a period. I do not, and nor should I do not have to, nor should I have an extra period. If I end the sentence with an abbreviation, the period is now, I guess, multifunctional. It's serving two purposes.
Mm.
Okay, so I only need one. You don't ever actually have to repeat or double up a punctuation. The punctuation to mean pause or time goes by is like this: 1, 2, 3. Okay,
Mm.
don't do 6 or 7. Don't just 3. Okay, if you want to show a pause, uh, he ate the insect. ... and threw up a minute later. Okay, like that. All right. How about you, Wilson? Are you a fan of eating insects?
No.
No,
Not
not
in
at
a
all.
coma. Maybe in the future, if you don't have enough food, okay, we'll need to try some alternatives. But now, I'm not a fan.
Not a fan. We'll
Yeah,
have to see.
yeah.
I've tried a couple times. It's all right. I like crickets, fried grasshoppers or crickets. Not bad.
Not bad.
Not bad. No. The
Okay.
thing that is disturbing Wilson is the texture. It's not. It's not really the taste. It's the texture. It's kind of disturbing. It's the only way to say it. Okay. Unfortunately, we're out of time, so thank you, guys. Thanks a lot. We'll see you again next
Yeah,
time.
thank you very much.
Tomorrow. Take care. All right.
Bye.